पण येणार ना Facebook वरती लाईव्ह झालं. हा, now it is on. Okay. Now we are.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hit that button. Go live.
Yep. Is there? आला आता.
Okay. So,
How are you?
good evening, guys. We have gathered here to celebrate 64th Dhamma Chakra Pravartan Day. It's a wonderful evening, and I would like to request Dhamma Ratna to have prayers. Bhante Dhamma Ratna.
Most Venerable Mahasangha, dear friends in Dhamma, today, meritorious day, we are gathered here right now, starting very special sutta. It's called the Dhamma Chakra Pavatana Sutta, right? I'm starting right now my chant. I make a wish all over the world people, especially my Indian and Bengali and my Sinhala and many devotees. I make a wish. Blessings with metta. Sagga kama rupa loka brahma loka nayakang meru satta kota satta sagarang talikkanang Deeparatta Gamaketta Vattorukka Pabbatang Sumana Rama Bhumya Deva Mandirang Vimanaye Anavatatta Himaya Kuta Nandi Nagar Lankate Rohamaya Khandamaya Ratta Vijita Mandire Sabbadeva Bhotanaga Yakha Rakha Santike Muni Desita Dhamma Ratana Sadhavo me Sunanto Paritta Savana Kalo Ayang Badanta Paritta Savana Kalo Ayang Badanta Paritta Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Nitipiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vidyacharana sampanno Sugato lokavido anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati Satta deva manussanang buddho bhagavati swakato bhagavata dhammo Sangdittiko akaliko ehi passiko panayiko Paccattam veditabbo vinnyo hite supatipanno bhagavato Savaka sangho jupatipanno bhagavato Savaka sangho Nyaya patipanno bhagavato Savaka sangho Samici patipanno bhagavato Savaka sangho Yadidang chattari purisa yogani atta purisa puggala Esa bhagavato Savaka sangho ahuneyo Pahuneyo dakkineyo anjali karaniyo Anuttarang punyakhetang lokasati Etena saccamajjena Sottite hotu sabbada Etena saccamajjena Sabba rogo vinasatu etena saccamajjena Hotu te jaya mangalang Evam me sutang ekang samayang bhagava Varanasiyang viharati sipatane migadaye Tatra ko bhagava panchamagye bhikkhu amante side me bhikkave anta Pabbajiterana sevita payo chayang kamesu Kama sukallikano yogo hino gammo potujjaniko Anariyo anatta sanhito yo chayang atta kilamatano yogo Dukkho anariyo anatta sanhito ngete te bhikkave ubbo ante Anupagang majjima patipada tatagatena Apisang buddha chakho karani jnana karani Upasamayang abhinyaya sangbodhaya nibbanaya Sangvattati Tatmaca sa bhikkave majjima patipada Tathagatena abhisang buddha chakko karani jnana karani Upasamayang abhinyaya sangbodhaya nippanaya Sangvattati ayameva aryo attangiko maggo Seyati dang Sangmaditi sangma sangkappo sangma vaca Sangma kang mangto sangma ngadiwo sangma vayamo Sangma sati sangma samadhi Ayang kosa bhikkave majjima patipada tathagatena Abhisang buddha Akko karani jnana karani upasamayang abhinyaya
Sangbodhaya Nibbanaya Sangvattati Idam Kopana Bhikkave Dukkhang Arya Satchang Jati Pi Dukkha Jara Pi Dukkha Vyadhi Pi Dukkha Maranang Pi Dukkhang Apye Sampayogo Dukkha Ye Vipayogo Dukkha Yang Annabatina Tang Dukkhang Sankitena Panchapadana Kanda Dukkha Idang Kopana Bhikkave Dukkha Samudayang Arya Satchang Yayang Tanha Pono Bhavikanang Diraga Sagata Tatra Tatra Binang Dini Seyati Dang Kama Tanha Bhava Tanha Vibhava Tanha Dang Kopana Bhikkave Dukkha Nirodhang Arya Satchang Yotasa Eva Tanhaya Asesa Viraga Nirodho Chago Patinisaggo Mutti Analayo Dankopana Bhikkave Dukkha Nirodha Gamini Patipadang Arya Satchang Ayamevang Aryo Attangiko Maggo Seyati Dang Sangmaditi Sangma Sankappo Sangma Vacha Sangma Kangmanto Sangma Jivo Sangma Vayamo Sangma Sati Sangma Samadhi Dang Dukkang Arya Satchang Time Bhikkave Pubbe Ananochutesu Dang Mesu Chakkung Udapadi Jnanang Udapadi Panyang Udapadi Vijjang Udapadi Aloko Udapadi Tangko Panidang Dukkhang Arya Satchang Parinye Yang Time Bhikkave Pubbe Ananuttutesu Dang Mesu Chakkung Udapadi Jnanang Udapadi Panyang Udapadi Vijjang Udapadi Aloko Udapadi Tangko Panidang Dukkhang Arya Satchang Parinyatang Time Bhikkave Pubbe Ananutsutesu Dang Mesu Chakkung Udapadi Jnanang Udapadi Panyang Udapadi Vijja Udapadi Aloko Udapadi Nidang Dukkha Samudayang Arya Satchang Time Bhikkave Pubbe Ananutsutesu Dang Mesu Chakkung Udapadi Jnanang Udapadi Panyang Udapadi Vijja Udapadi Aloko Udapadi Tangko Panidang Dukkha Samudayang Arya Satchang Satchikatabhangti Pahatabhangti Me Bhikkave Pubbe Ananutsutesu Dang Mesu Chakkung Udapadi Jnanang Udapadi Panyang Udapadi Vijjang Udapadi Aloko Udapadi Tangko Panidang Dukkha Samudayang Arya Satchang පහිනන්ති මේ භික්කවේ පුබ්බේ අනනුත්සුතේසු ධම්මේසෝ චක්කුං උදපාදි ඥානං උදපාදි පඤ්ඤාං උදපාදි විජ්ජාං උදපාදි ආලෝකෝ උදපාදි ඉදං දුක්ඛ නිරෝධං අරිය සත්‍යං මේ භික්ඛවේ පුබ්බේ අනනුච්චුතේසු ධම්මේසෝ චක්ඛුං උදපාදි ඥානං උදපාදි පඤ්ඤාං උදපාදි විජ්ජා උදපාදි ආලෝකෝ උදපාදි තංකෝපනිදං දුක්ඛ නිරෝධං අරිය සත්‍යං සච්චිකාතබ්බන්ති මේ භික්ඛවේ පුබ්බේ අනනුච්චුතේසු ධම්මේසෝ චක්කුං උදපාදි ඥානං උදපාදි පඤ්ඤාං උදපාදි විජ්ජා උදපාදි ආලෝකෝ උදපාදි තංකෝපනිදං දුක්ඛ නිරෝධං අරිය සත්‍යං සච්චිකතං තේ භික්ඛවේ පුබ්බේ අනනුච්චුතේසු ධම්මේසෝ චක්ඛුං උදපාදි ඥානං උදපාදි පඤ්ඤාං උදපාදි විජ්ජා උදපාදි ආලෝකෝ උදපාදි ඉදං දුක්ඛ නිරෝධ ගාමිනී පටිපදාං අරිය සත්‍යං මේ භික්ඛවේ පුබ්බේ අනනුච්චුතේසු ධම්මේසෝ චක්ඛුං උදපාදි ඥානං උදපාදි පඤ්ඤාං උදපාදි විජ්ජා උදපාදි ආලෝකෝ උදපාදි තංඛෝපනිදං දුක්ඛ නිරෝධ ගාමිනී පටිපදාං අරිය සත්‍යං භාවේ තබ්බං තේ භික්ඛවේ පුබ්බේ අනනුච්චුතේසු ධම්මේසු චක්ඛුං උදපාදි ඥානං උදපාදි පඤ්ඤාං උදපාදි විජ්ජා උදපාදි ආලෝකෝ උදපාදි තංකෝපනිදං දුක්ඛ නිරෝධ ගාමිනී පටිපදාං අරිය සත්‍යං භාවිතං තිමේ භික්ඛවේ පුබ්බේ අනනුච්චුතේසු ධම්මේසු චක්ඛුං උදපාදි ඥානං උදපාදි පඤ්ඤාං උදපාදි විජ්ජාං උදපාදි ආලෝකෝ උදපාදි යාව khīවං ච මේ භික්ඛවේ නිමේසු චතුසු අරිය සාච්චේසු එවං තිපරිවට්ඨං ද්වාදසාකාරං යතා භූතං ඥාන දස්සනං සෝවිසුද්ධං ආසි නේවතාවහං භික්ඛවේ සදේවකේ ලෝකේ සමාරකේ සබ්‍රහ්මකේ සසමන බ්‍රාහ්මනියා පජාය සදේව මනුස්සාය අනුත්තරං සම්මා සම්බෝධිං අභිසම්බුද්ධෝ පච්චඤ්ඤාසින් යතෝ චකෝ මේ භික්ඛවේ ඉමේසු චතුසු අරිය සාච්චේසු දේවං තිපරිවට්ඨං ද්වාදසාකාරං යතා භූතං ඥාන දස්සනං සුවිසුද්ධං අහෝසි අතාහං භික්කවේ සද්දේවකේ ලෝකේ සමාරකේ සබ්‍රාක්්මකේ සසමන බ්‍රාක්්මනියා පජාය සදේව මනුස්සාය අනුත්තරං සංමා සංබෝධින් අභිසංබුද්ධෝ පච්චඤ්ඤාසින් ඥානං ච පනමේ දස්සනං උදපාදි අකුප්පාමේ චේතෝ විමුක්ති අයමන්ති මාජාති නත්ති දානි උනබ්බවෝති ඉදමෝච භගවාන් අත්තමනා පංකමග්ගියා භික්ඛෝ භගවතෝ භාසිතං අභිනන්දෝති ඉමස්මින් ච පනවෙයා කරණස්මින් භං්‍යමානේ ආයසුමතෝ කොංඩං යස්ස විරජං වීත මලං ධම්ම චක්ඛුං උදපාදි යං කිංචි සමුදය ධම්මං සබ්බං තං නිරෝධ ධම්මං පවත්ති තේච පන භගවතා ධම්ම චක්කේ බුම්මා දේවා සද්ද මනුස්සාවේ සුං ඒතං භගවතා බාරාණසියං ඉසිපතනේ මිගදායේ අනුත්තරං ධම්ම චක්කං පවත්තිතං අපතිවත්තියං සමනේනවා බ්‍රාහ්මනේනවා දේවේනවා මාරේනවා බ්‍රහ්මුණාවා කේනචිවා ලෝකස්මින් බුම්මානං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා චාතුම් මහරාජිකා දේවා සද්ද මනුස්සාවේසුං ඒතං භාගවතා බාරාණසියං ඉසිපතනේ මිගදායේ අනුත්තරං ධම්ම චක්කං පවත්තිතං අපතිවත්තියං සමනේනවා බ්‍රාහ්මනේනවා දේවේනවා මාරේනවා බ්‍රහ්මුණාවා කේනචිවා ලෝකස්මින්ති චාතුම් මහරාජිකානං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා තාවතින් සා දේවා සද්ද මනුස්සාවේසුං ඒතං භගවතා බාරාණසියං ඉසිපතනේ මිගදායේ අනුත්තරං ධම්ම චක්කං පවත්තිතං අපතිවත්තියං සමනේනවා බ්‍රාහ්මනේනවා දේවේනවා මාරේනවා බ්‍රහ්මුණාවා කේනචිවා ලෝකස්මියෝති තාවතින් සානං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා යාමා දේවා සද්ද මනුස්සාවේසුං ඒතං භගවතා බාරාණසියං ඉසිපතනේ මිගදායේ අනුත්තරං ධම්ම චක්කං පවත්තිතං අපතිවත්තියං සමනේනවා බ්‍රාහ්මනේනවා දේවේනවා මාරේනවා බ්‍රහ්මුණාවා කේනචිවා ලෝකස්මියෝති යාමානං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා තුසිතා දේවා සද්ද මනුස්සාවේසුං ඒතං භගවතා බාරාණසියං ඉසිපතනේ මිගදායේ අනුත්තරං ධම්ම චක්කං පවත්තිතං අපතිවත්තියං සමනේනවා බ්‍රාහ්මනේනවා දේවේනවා මාරේනවා බ්‍රහ්මුණාවා කේනචිවා ලෝකස්මියෝති තුසිතානං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා නිම්මාන රති දේවා සද්ද මනුස්සාවේසුං ඒතං භගවතා බාරාණසියං ඉසිපතනේ මිගදායේ අනුත්තරං ධම්ම චක්කං පවත්තිතං අප්පතිවත්තියං සමනේනවා බ්‍රාහ්මණේනවා දේවේනවා මාරේනවා බ්‍රහ්මුණාවා කේනචිවා ලෝකස්මියන්ති නිම්මාන රතිනං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා පරනිම්මිත වසවත්තිනෝ දේවා සද්ද මනුස්සාවේසුං ඒතං භගවතා බාරාණසියං ඉසිපතනේ මිගදායේ අනුත්තරං ධම්ම චක්කං පවත්තිතං අපපතිවත්තියං සමනේනවා බ්‍රාහ්මණේනවා දේවේනවා මාරේනවා බ්‍රහ්මුණාවා කේනචිවා ලෝකස්මින්ති පරනිම්මිත වසවත්තිනං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා බ්‍රහ්ම පාරේ සජ්ජා දේවා සද්ද මනුස්සාවේසුං ඒතං භගවතා බාරාණසියං ඉසිපතනේ මිගදායේ අනුත්තරං ධම්ම චක්කම් පවත්තිතං අපපතිවත්තියං සමනේනවා බ්‍රාහ්මණේනවා දේවේනවා මාරේනවා බ්‍රහ්මුණාවා කේනචිවා ලෝකස්මින්ති බ්‍රහ්ම පාරේ සජ්ජානං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා බ්‍රහ්ම පුරෝහිතා දේවා සද්ද මනුස්සාවේසුං ඒතං භගවතා බාරාණසියං ඉසිපතනේ මිගදායේ අනුත්තරං ධම්ම චක්කම් පවත්තිතං අපපතිවත්තියං සමනේනවා බ්‍රාහ්මණේනවා දේවේනවා මාරේනවා බ්‍රහ්මුණාවා කේනචිවා ලෝකස්මින්ති බ්‍රහ්ම පුරෝහිතානං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා මහා බ්‍රහ්මා දේවා සද්ද මනුස්සාවේසුං ඒතම් භගවතා බාරාණසියං ඉසිපතනේ මිගදායේ අනුත්තරං ධම්ම චක්කම් පවත්තිතං අපපතිවත්තියන් සමනේනවා බ්‍රාහ්මණේනවා දේවේනවා මාරේනවා බ්‍රහ්මුණාවා කේනචිවා ලෝකස්මින්ති මහා බ්‍රහ්මාණං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා පරිත්තාභා දේවා සද්ද මනුස්සාවේසුං ඒතම් භගවතා බාරාණසියං ඉසිපතනේ මිගදායේ අනුත්තරං ධම්ම චක්කම් පවත්තිතං අපපතිවත්තියං සමනේනවා බ්‍රාහ්මණේනවා දේවේනවා මාරේනවා බ්‍රහ්මුණාවා කේනචිවා ලෝකස්මින්ති පරිත්තාභානං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා අප්පමාන භාදේවා සද්ද මනුස්සාවේසුං ඒතම් භගවතා බාරාණසියං ඉච්ඡිපතනේ මිගදායේ අනුත්තරං ධම්ම චක්කම් පවත්තිතං අපපතිවත්තියං සමනේනවා බ්‍රාහ්මණේනවා දේවේනවා මාරේනවා බ්‍රහ්මුණාවා කේනචිවා ලෝකස්මින්ති අප්පමාන භානං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා භත්සරා දේවා සද්ද මනුස්සාවේසුං ඒතම් භගවතා බාරාණසියං ඉසිපතනේ මිගදායේ අනුත්තරං ධම්ම චක්කම් පවත්තිතං අපපතිවත්තියං සමනේනවා බ්‍රාහ්මණේනවා දේවේනවා මාරේනවා බ්‍රහ්මුණාවා කේනචිවා ලෝකස්මින්ති ආභස්සරාණං දේවානං සද්දං සුත්වා පරිත්ත සුභාදේවා සද්ද මනුස්සාවේසුං ඒතම් භගවතා බාරාණසියං ඉසිපතනේ මිගදායේ අනුත්තරං ධම්ම චක්කං පවත්තිතං අපපතිවත්තියං සමනේනවා බ්‍රාහ්මණේනවා දේවේනවා මාරේනවා බ්‍රහ්මුණාවා කේනචිවා lokasminti paritta subhanam devanam saddam sutta appamana subha deva saddha manussave etang bhagavata varanasiyang isipatane migadaye anuttaram dhamma chakram pavattitang appativatyang samanena va brahmanena va devena va marena va brahmana va kena chiva lokasminti appamana subhanang devanang saddang sutta subhakinnaka deva saddha manussave etam bhagavata varanasiyang isipatane migadaye anuttaram dhamma chakram pavattitang appativatyang samanena va brahmanena va devena va marena va brahmana va kena chiva lokasminti subhakinnakaanang devanang saddang suttave happala deva saddha manussave etang bhagavata varanasiyang isipatane migadaye anuttaram dhamma chakram pavattitang appativatyang samanena va brahmanena va devena va marena va brahmana va kena chiva lokasminti vehapalanang devanang saddang suttang avihadeva saddha manussave etang bhagavata varanasiyang isipatane migadaye anuttarang dhamma chakram pavattitang appativatyang samanena va brahmanena va devena va marena va brahmana va kena chiva lokasmiyati avihanang devanang saddang suttang atappa deva saddha manussave etang bhagavata varanasiyang isipatane migadaye anuttarang dhamma chakram pavattitang appativatyang samanena va brahmanena va devena va marena va brahmana va kena chiva lokasmiyate atappanang devanang saddang sutta sudassa deva saddha manussave etang bhagavata varanasiyang isipatane migadaye anuttaram dhamma chakram pavattitang appativatyang samanena va brahmanena va devena va marena va brahmana va kena chiva lokasmiyate sudasanang devanang saddang sutta sudassi deva saddha manussave etang bhagavata varanasiyang isipatane migadaye anuttarang dhamma chakram pavattitang appativatyang samanena va brahmanena va devena va marena va brahmana va kena chiva lokasminti sudase nam saddang sotva akanittaka deva saddamanussave song etang bhagavata varanasiyang isipatane migadaye anuttarang dhamma chakkang pattitang appativattiyang samanena va brahmanena va devena va marena va brahmuna va kena chiva lokasmin te ityatena khanena tena mottena yava brahmaloka saddo abbokgat tewe ayam ca dasa sajji lokadato sankampi sampakampi sampave deva appamano changularogo basoloke paturaho siyoye atikam devanam devano bhavam teyoye atako bhagavan udanam udane siyoye anya sivat bokhong dangyo anya sivat bokhong dangyo tewe iti dangayasmato kong dang nyatsa anya kong dang nyot devanamang aho si tewe etena sacca vajjena sotti te hotu sabbada etena sacca vajjena sabba roga vinasato etena sacca vajjena deva rakhanto sabbada nakasatta ca bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyang tang anumoditva chirang rakhanto sasanang akasatta ca bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyang tang anumoditva chirang rakhanto desanang akasatta ca bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyang tang anumoditva chirang rakhantu mang parang deva vaccatu kalena satsa sampatti tucca ito bhavatu lokoce raja bhavatu dhammiko ittavataca amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe brahma anumodantu sabbe navaggaha anumodantu sabbe naga anumodantu sabbe deva anumodantu sabbe yakha anumodantu sabbe bhutanumodantu sabbe sattha anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya danang dadantu saddhaya silang rakkantu sabbada bhavana bhiratahuntu gaccantu devatagata idang me ñātīnaṃ hotu sukhitahuntu ñātayo idang me ñātīnaṃ hotu sukhitahuntu ñātayo idang me ñātīnaṃ hotu sukhitahuntu ñātayo dukkhappattāca niddukkhā bhayappattāca nibbhaya sokappattāca nissokā hontu sabbe pipānino abhivādana sīlissa niccang vaddha pracāyino cattaro dhamma vaddante āyuvaṅno sukhang balang te. Thank you, everyone. So may the triple gem blessings be with you, you and your family members, and all over the world people. And thank you, my dear friends in Dhamma and many Bhantes in Canada and USA supporting good Kalyana Mittas and Venerable Bhikkhu Mahasanghas and my devotees. Thank you. Blessings with Metta.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bandeji.
Good day to you. Sadhu.
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 Thank you, Bandeji, for Dhamma Chakra Parithan chanting. It was awesome. So, guys, here, like, I can.
You're welcome, my friend.
So here I can see Bhante Thanapat has also joined. Welcome, Bhante Thanapat. Really appreciate your joining this program. So just like we had Dhamma Chakra Parithan chanting by Bhante Dhamma Ratna. He's from Great Lake Buddha Vihara, Southfield, Michigan. Thank you again, Bhanteji.
Thank you, everyone.
Let's go to like program overview here. So like there are a lot of activities ahead we have. So next activity, like I would introduce what are the other activities here on this online program. So first thing would be here like a Dhamma talk by Bhante Dharmananda Mahaprabhu. And like after that, there would be day importance, like why we are celebrating this day, that day importance, and 22 oaths reading by Avinashare. And thereafter, we would have a lot of cultural activities, speech, dance, music, play, and other stuff we will have. So let us move forward with one more Dhamma talk. So I would like to introduce Dharmananda Mahaprabhuji. He is the president of International Peace Monastery, Detroit, and president of Buddhist Council of America. So Bhanteji, Dharmananda, Mahaprabhuji, you are welcome. So you we are moving forward with your Dhamma talk. So particularly my vision is blurred and mission is uncertain. As being Buddhist, so what should we do in 21st century? So please guide us on our vision and our mission. So what should we there in 21st century? Please, Bhante Dhammananda, go ahead.
Are you hearing okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, Bhanteji.
Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, Bhanteji.
Good, good, good. Good evening, fellow brother and sister, ladies and gentlemen. First, I homage to the Lord Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Lord Buddha. Homage to the Dhamma. Homage to the Sangha, the noble disciple of the Buddha. First of all, today we are celebrating 54th anniversary of Diksha Day, which is commemorating the great leader of the world and great leader of the father of the Constitution of India and the great beloved father for all of us, Babasaheb Ambedkar. He transcended to the Buddhism October 14, 1956. So today is the 54th anniversary we are celebrating all over the world. So fellow brother and sister, and the topic today, as a Buddhist, what we should do for the 21st century. And I am very requested by the Ambedkar Association of North America, my fellow friend Vivek, Mahesh, and Avinash, all my friends, they request me to give a Dhamma talk to how to propagate Buddhism around the world for the 21st century. As a Buddhist monk, as a practitioner of the Buddhism, and I actually has a lot of experience about how to introduce Buddhism around the world. And first of all, I like to start with the Babasaheb, why he embraced to the Buddhism. Not only that, we said the 14th October to transform to the Buddhism, but way before that, way much before that, probably 1930s, the Babasaheb talk about the Buddhism the teachings of the Lord Buddha. And then the one point he figured out, which is the number one verses, which is from the Dhammapada. No jassa vasalo hoti, no jassa hotu brahmanang, kammanang vasalo hoti, kammanang hotu brahmanang. That's the first verses that strike to the Baba Sahib mind. Because the Buddha, Lord Buddha, at that verses, Buddha said that by birth, no one become a occupation, or the Samonera, or the Barmin, or the scheduled caste, or Sudra, or Kshatriya, or anyone. By birth, you cannot define the human race. You should not divide it with the humanity, with the birth. Only the karma, the action that what you perform is the dignify you. Whatever you do, whatever you think, whatever you act, that is dignify you, not by the born as a Barmin become a Barmin or Sudra or whatever it is. So that the point I just figure out that strike to the Baba Sahib mind. And that is the Buddha's profound message against the discrimination of those days, 2,600 years ago in India. So it is almost 1930s, the Baba Sahib studied the Dhammapada and he strike to his mind. That's why he studied more and more, and he more embraced to the Buddhism and Buddha's teaching. So later on, finally, he joined to the 1950s World Buddhist Conference at Colombo, Sri Lanka, which is founded the World Fellowship of Buddhists, and he gave a talk there and what is important of the Buddha's teachings and how the Indian population, people of India, that need the Buddha's great message. So that is the most important things that we as a Buddhist, we should know that why, when, how Baba Sahib embraced to the Buddhism. So now talk about the Buddhism, that what really Buddha tried to teach us, what really Buddha introduced to the human society today, and which is the modern scientific need, and it is a complete. Buddhism is the science of the mind. Buddhism is the science of the mind. So it is co-opt with the science and psychology. So Buddhism is very profound logic based on caste, color, all those things. Is that what I say, that the Buddhism is the most profound humanistic religion in the world. It is not belief, or it is not a faith, or it is not a ceremonial activity, or doing this and that, the puja or this and that. It's not main things. It's a primary level, what we do. But the Buddha's message is that you got to understand Buddha's teaching, which is Buddha indicate that number one, three basic foundation. Number one, anicca. Anicca means, in Pali, anicca means impermanence. All things all things in the entire universe, number one is impermanence. Number two, because of the impermanence, it is a suffering. Number second. Number third, it is a no self-identity. No personal soul, no personal identity or no self. So these are the three basic foundations. Anicca, dukkha, anatta. Impermanence, suffering, no self. So these are the Buddha's most profound, basic foundation of the Buddhism. So if any Buddhist does not understand these three things, I could say he is not a Buddhist. I could say he is not Buddhist at all. You got to understand, as a Buddhist, as a young practitioner or the follower of Buddhism, you got to understand what is this? What is impermanence? All life, all conditioned things are impermanence. And because of the condition involved, because of the birth, when you got the birth, we'll get old, we'll get sick, and we'll die. Those are the condition involved. The birth, and then the sickness, and then the old age, and then the death. So those are simultaneously together. If you got the birth, of course, you get old, you got sick, you got die. You cannot escape from these conditioned things because there is a condition involved. There is a condition involved, you cannot escape it. For example, in America, if you buy the Thanksgiving holiday sale, if you buy one and then they give buy one get one free, or buy one get two free, right? So, and people line up in the Thanksgiving sale. People stay all overnight for the line to buy one get one free, or buy one get two free. Okay, same thing that I found that when we got the birth, we got the free of the old age, free of the sickness, free of the death. So buy one, got three free. Isn't it funny? So buy one, get three free. We buy the birth and we got sick, we got old, we got die. So these are the impermanence. This is the Buddha try to explain, that people need to understand that why it is impermanence. So when it is impermanence, it is a suffering involved. All the time, every time suffering. Because you don't want to give up. You don't want to give up. You want this, you want that. And you got more suffer and more suffer. And suffering involvement, scientifically, I can explain to you that. Look at that, our planet, the Earth. The Earth is moving. Do you know how speed it is? You know, we have a 24 hours a day, the sunrise and then sundown, 12 hours each way. And it is goes simultaneously. And then the whole planet Earth is moving so fast. You know what is the speed of that? 30,000 miles per hour. 30,000 miles per hour is spending. He don't want to spend like that. It's too speed. It's too suffering for him. But he has no choice because of the condition involved. Because of the condition involved, because the Earth itself, inside of the planet Earth, they have a magnetic field. That called volcano is a full of magnet. So because of the full of magnet inside the Mother Earth is tied with the gravity from the sun, okay, and then from the moon. So there is a all the planetary system has a magnetic field and gravity. So because of the gravity, because of the magnetic field, and he has to suffer, he has to speed 32,000 miles per hour. So he is suffering. We got the same thing in our neurological system, in our brain, in our cell, in our DNA. All is simultaneously working, just like so many LED light in working in our neurological function, which is the brain and then the mind activity. The brain and then the mind activity is working. It's just like so much speed, and there is a 18 trillion cell in the brain, 18 trillion cell, and it is so many LED light, so speed and working for that. And it's not funny. We got, as a human being, we got to understand all what's going on, our internal component. We always look at outside, but we never look inside. We always look outside. Whatever the eyes go to any object, and we mind create the subject, this and that. Good, bad, I want this, I want this, I want the name, I want fame, all kind of ego, perception, illusion, all kind of negativity. We always look at outside. Good, bad news, all those things outside. Because of the eye, because of your hearing, all kind of news. But we never look inside of what's going on in our neurological system, in our brain. So the Buddha said that first know yourself. Know yourself first, who you are, and how long you're going to be survive in this planet, in this drama, the human life drama. So as a human being, the most important thing is you got to understand who you are, how long you're going to be in this planet. So you got to understand the impermanence, you got to understand the suffering, and there is no self, there is no mind, there is no I, there is no me, there is no mind. I is the ego, mind is the desire, all kind of things. We got to understand when you practice meditation, you will know who you are. That's why the Buddha said that practice meditation, look at yourself, who you are. So that's why the thing is that the mind, how involved with all the perception and ego and illusion in the mind because of the ignorance, because of the number one cause, the human problem is the ignorance. Number two is the ego. Number three is the illusion. So number four is the anger. So it's all about the ignorance, ego, illusion, and anger. So I could figure out the four different things, all the negativity. The four interesting thing is that four of them is vowels. You see that? I figure out A, E, I, O, U, all the vowels, right? So ignorance, ego, illusion, and anger. So these four enemy burning our human life, burning the human society, burning the family, the burning the society, the burning the entire world. It's breaking up the humanity. Look at that. These four things: ignorance, ego, illusion, and anger. Look at that. How I figure out the four of them is vowels. So think that one day Buddha sitting under the tree at Savatthi, Buddha just feeling the nature. The man ran to him, Lord Buddha, I want peace. I want peace. I want peace. And Buddha just opened eyes, and then Buddha said that, are you sure that you want peace? He said, yeah, I desperately need the peace. And maybe he got problem in the family problem. Maybe wife and husband fighting each other. Maybe he have some other problem, or maybe brother and sister fighting each other. Maybe so many the family problem. That's why he want peace and happiness. So then people suggest him, Lord Buddha is sitting under the tree, so you better go and talk to the Lord Buddha. So that's why he came to the Lord Buddha and asking that, Lord Buddha, please, I want peace. So Buddha said, are you sure that? Yeah, he said, yes, I desperately need it. So Buddha said, I want peace. I want peace. Buddha say, remove the I. Number one, because I is the ego. Number two, want. Remove the one, which is desire. Number three, what is left? When you remove the I as the ego, when you remove the one as the desire, Buddha says, what is left? Peace is right there. Peace is right there. So, how very simple, how very easy. This is, people don't understand. People running every day, finding the peace and happiness, making money, and working so hard, and spending money, still not finding the happiness, still not finding the peace. And it's running. What's going on? What's going on? They don't understand the Buddha's teaching. Even Buddhist people don't understand the Buddhism. And it is a shame for us. And I could profoundly say that. I strongly say that. The Buddhist people also tie with the ignorance, ego, full of ego. I am this, I am that, my name is that, I have this position, I have this degree, I have this big house, I have this big television, I have this big car, this and that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's all full of crazy. All full of crazy life. You cannot find the peace with piece of paper, money, or property, or the ornamental thing, this and that. You cannot find the peace. You have to practice meditation. You got to study the Buddhism. What really Buddha tried to say. That's the profound message that you got to understand. And Buddha said that the three things called, number one called pariyatti, patipatti, patibheda in Pali. Pariyatti means study, to know, to earn the knowledge. That's called pariyatti, study. Then whatever you study, whatever you know, and you should practice. That's called pariyatti, patipatti, and patibheda is the realization. Number third is the realization and practice meditation. So Buddha give the guideline. First, you got to understand impermanent suffering and no self. Then you got to understand another three, which is pariyatti, patipatti, and patibhada. Study, study, study. And then practice and practice and practice. And then realization, to realize the truth about life. Realize truth about life. The truth. Realize the truth about the whole entire universe. How long you're going to be staying this planet. So the pariyatti, patipatti, and patibhada. Study, practice, and realization. That means meditation. So all those things, important thing is people don't understand. As a Buddhist, even don't understand. Even the Buddhist monk don't understand. The monk got the titles, and monk got the this and that name and fame. What is this? What is this? And we Buddhist people also don't understand the real Buddha's message. But important thing I find out that, look at that, the great scientist, Albert Einstein, he simply studied the maybe one or two books, Buddha's teaching, which is written by the Cornell Olcott on those days. Cornell Olcott, who is the maker of the Buddhist flag, Cornell Olcott from New York. So he wrote some books, and then the Albert Einstein, the great scientist, he studied the Buddhism. So what he said that, his message that the religion of the future will be a cosmic religion. It should transcend a personal God and avoid dogmas and theology, covering both the natural and the spiritual. It should be based on a religious senses arising from the experience of all things, natural and spiritual, as a meaningful unity. Buddhism answer this description. How powerful. The great scientist ever in our time, and how he strongly deliver the Buddhism and Buddha's teaching. What you got? What I got? As a Buddhist, as a human being, what we got it? That's the things that we need to understand. That's the things we got to understand. So now I like to go back to the more deeper level, which is I daily practice. One of my great teacher, he passed away, I think last year, Bhante Punyaji. He taught me sometimes ago. He told me that, Bhante Punyaji told me that, Dhammananda, you should study the psychology and Abhidhamma, that human psychology. That's why I deeply study the mind and matter and psychology. So I have so many my personal understanding. First of all, that you got to understand the mind. What is mind? What is the mind? Is this anywhere in the mind? What is the mind? What is mind? So the mind is the result of the brain. The brain produces the mind. Without the brain, there is no mind. But the mind is separate from the brain. If the brain is limited, damaged, the mind also damaged. The brain which records every sensation, every feeling of pain and pleasure. The brain with all its tissues, neuron, electron, with all its responses, create what we call the mind. Although the mind is independent from the brain. This is my understanding of the wisdom. And the mind and then the brain. You know, everybody has a mind, individual mind. Every beings has an individual brain. Somebody has higher understanding, higher brain, and somebody has a different mind, different opinion. Even wife and husband living in the same house, 30, 40, 50 years together. There's a two different brain, two different mind, two different understanding. Even the kids, brother and sister, living same family, same house, two different brain, two different mind, different understanding level. Because we have to understand how the mind and then the brain working together. So I study deeply the mind and then the brain. What is mind? So the mind is the carrying force. Mind carry the energy. As soon as the mind pick some kind of thought, good thought, bad thought, right thought, wrong thought, or whatever it is, the mind pick quickly any kind of thought. And as soon as mind pick up the thought and send the information to the brain, it just fast like a thousands of milliseconds. Quick, more quick than faster than the light. The mind pick up the thought, this, that, good, bad, right, wrong, and send the information to the brain as soon as possible. And then the brain work according to the mind. So brain, whatever the mind give the information to the brain work. If the mind pick up the bad thought and supply to the brain, and brain work according to bad way. If the mind pick up the good thought, right thought, and send the information to the frequency, I call frequency, like a net frequency. So as soon as mind pick up the frequency, sending to the brain, and then brain work according to that. So mind is the carrying force, and brain is the working force. Look at that. How this is not in the book or anywhere, just I figure out from my practice and understanding about the Buddhism and also the science of the mind. So the mind is the carrying force, the brain is the working force. Then later on, and that is the later on is go to the object and then the subject. Object is the place, anywhere like this, anywhere you have a object. So when the mind jump in the object, and then the send to the information to the brain, and brain create the subject. So the mind jump through any object. Object means the place. This, that, good, bad, right, wrong, all kind of object. Like sometimes mind come to the temple and practice meditation. Sometimes the mind goes to the bar, have a couple short drinks, this and that, all kind of, negative things, So different kind of object, So mind pick up the object, and then as soon as possible, the mind send the information to the brain, and the brain create the subject. So object and then the subject. So when the subject create, and later on action arises, activity. And when the activity arises, the consequences, result of the activity arises. Look at that. All is the magnetic field. All is the interconnected. Whatever the whole planet Earth has a magnetic field, our mind and then our brain has a magnetic field. We are not separate from the planet. We are not separate from the entire universe. We are all interconnected with the Mother Nature, with the entire universe. Because of the Mother Nature create us, we create our own nature. So our brain, our body is connected with the Mother Nature, with the magnetic field. That's why we have a love, we have a hatred, we have a anger, this, that, all kind of things. But all kind of is playing conditional things. We got to understand who doing what, Nobody is handling us. Nobody pushing us. It's all by ourselves. Buddha said that everything by yourself to become a good and become a bad also yourself. Everything by yourself. So that's the important thing that we got to understand. And more to that, and I wrote down a couple days ago, when observer observe the things as a subject in the object, there is a transition between the mind and then the matters. I just wrote down October 20. Observer, and then the observation. Observer means you are the observer, right? And then your mind is the observer, and you observe the things as a subject in the object, in any object, any object. So mind observe. So there is a transition between the mind and then the matter. The matter is the cup, and then the table or the chair or anything is the matters. It's called form. In Pali called rupa. All the matters. And then the mind. The mind, I told you what is the mind. The mind is the result from the brain. So the mind and matter, they have a transition between the mind and matters. This transition is the creating the subject and then the object. So you got to understand that what is subject, what is object, and what is mind, what is the matter. Buddha said nama is the mind. Rupa is the form, which is matter. The whole planet, earth, whole universe is created by the mind and the matter. Mind create the matter create the mind. Our body is the living matter. Okay? And then all those things is non-living matters. This is non-living matter. But someday the non-living matter going to be a living matters in the future. That's why I say the future of the Buddhism. Albert Einstein said that already. The future of Buddhism is going to be a more beyond imagination. You cannot think about that. So, and basically there is no observer. Look at that, I wrote down. Basically there is no observer. Only the mind transforms into energy to the brain. See that the point? Only the mind transforms energy, energy supply to the brain for the observation momentarily. Just the momentarily. It's also impermanent. It is also impermanent. It's a momentarily transform the energy to the brain. But it is just arise and then goes away. Buddha said that upada vayadamminu. Whatever the arising, it go down. When the birth arises, get sick, get old, and get die. When you climbing the mountain, go on the top of the mountain, you know where to go on the top of the mountain. You have to go down. So upada vayadamminu, the Buddha's message. So I figure out all those things, and the brain for the observation momentarily. Therefore, observer become observation. Observer become observation. And energy flow into the mind and then the matter. The mind, energy flow in the mind, and then the matter. So that is the message. And then finally, there is no self for the realization, which is I wrote down 23rd October, just 2 days ago. There is no self for the realization. Self-identification is the egoistic thought involved with the mind and matters. Therefore, enlightenment is the vast, limitless awareness beyond mind and matters. This is the beautiful Buddha's teaching. You got to understand. whatever I wrote down, it is like a beyond universal system. This is the law of Mother Nature. This is the eternal law of the Mother Nature. As a Buddhist, as a young man, as a father, as a mother, as a brother, as a sister, you got to understand what Buddha's message is. So, if you don't understand, your life is go down, down and down and down. You cannot develop the awareness. You got to understand what I said, that pariyatti, study, practice, realization. So you got to understand, read the book every day. You know, Bill Gates, every week he studied the book. Year 2019, he finished 8 books. All of them is Buddha's teaching. Bill Gates. And then Stephen Hawking, the great scientist, he also studied the Buddhism. Now everybody, every intellectual people are studying the Buddhism, the Buddha's teaching. So as a human being, as a Buddhist, what you are doing? Just running for the behind the money? No peace. Buddha said already. You have to eliminate I. You have to eliminate one desire, and you will find the peace of mind, peace of happiness, peace of life. And then finally, my final message is that the 21st century, that as a Buddhist, as a Indian fellow Buddhist, your root start from the Diksha Bhumi, which is in Nagpur. Try to understand and try to open one Bhikshu training center there, the monk training center. When the monk is educated, when monk develop the knowledge, when monk develop the wisdom and understanding, and they can teach our fellow Buddhist people. So if the monk is not educated, monk is not wise enough, they cannot teach the people. We got to have a good teacher for the good student. So it's connected to each other. So you have to, whatever you can raise the fund and try to open the one meditation center, Bhikshu training center, and then the training for our fellow brother and sister. In that way, and also America also, we need that, because America is flourishing the Buddhism, very fast flourishing and fast growing. The America, Australia, Canada, and Europe, the most advanced country is Buddhism is increasing, especially the educated people, especially the wise people are studying the Buddhism more and more. If you go to the Facebook, you can see many groups. I personally opened the mini group, the Buddhism Friends, is more than 50,000 people today. I'm the admin, Buddhism Friends. And then another study group I opened, the teachings of the Buddha. Another is like a Windsor meditation group. So I have a mini group I created. So I try to teach the people, our fellow, not only Buddhists, but any human beings. So the 21st century, Buddhism going to be a more effective, more fruitful, more truthful, and is more gifted for the mankind of the whole world. So please join with us. Together, we are all brother and sister. We are not separate from anyone. Caste, color, this and that is nothing. We are all human beings. We are all Buddhists. We are all brother and sister. Together, we can achieve our mission, which is we can achieve our vision 2021 for the 21st century. And you got to study, you got to unite it together. Look at that, united, we stand together. So I hope that today my earnest request to that, raise the fund and do something better for your future. Remember that we are going to die. As a parent, as a father, as a brother, we are all going to die someday. But what is left? Our next generation, our son, our daughter. You have to give the Dhamma. If you give the car, if you give that big house, it will destroy someday. They got drink, this and that, and boom, accident, they lost it. But the gift of Dhamma is the best gift, Buddha said that. Dhamma is the best gift. So try to introduce with the Dhamma always, every time, and then they can be a good citizen of the world, the best citizen, best human being in the world. So my final message is that you, all the parents, mother, father, brother, sister, united stand together. United stand together. Sukha sangasya samoggi. Samagganang taposuko. Buddha said that united we stand together. Look at that, United States. They pick up the Buddha's message. Buddha said, Sukha sangasya samoggi, united. Samagganang taposuko is create the more happiness. Sukha sangasya samoggi, samagganang taposuko. The Buddha said that united we stand together is more peace, more happiness for yourself, for others, for around the world. And your kids, your children going to follow your path. Thank you so very much. And this beautiful, wonderful evening, I praying for all of that. And I praying for Baba Sahib Ambedkar to achieve Nibbana and all of the mankind of the humanity to finally achieve Nibbana. Thank you so very much. Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you so much, Bhante Dhammananji. It was awesome vision. It was great talk. We came to know a lot of new things, and we definitely work on that. We definitely focus on that.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys. So moving forward, our next in-line item is importance of this day, why we are celebrating this day. And like I would read 22 oaths of Baba Sahibs on this day they have. So guys, here like on this day particularly, Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar prescribed 22 oaths to his followers during the historic religious conversion to Buddhism on 14th October 1956 at Diksha Bhumi, Nagpur in India. The conversion of Buddhism by 6 to 7 lakhs people was historic because it was the largest religious conversion the world has ever witnessed. He prescribed these oaths so that there may be complete severance of bond with Hinduism. These 22 oaths struck a blow at the roots of Hindu beliefs and practices. These vows could serve as a bulwark to protect Buddhism from confusion and contradictions. These vows could liberate converts from superstitious, wasteful, and meaningless rituals, which have led to masses and enrichment of upper caste of Hindus. So guys, below are the 22 oaths I'm going to read for you. Number 1 is, I shall have no faith in Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, nor shall I worship them. I shall have no faith in Rama and Krishna, who are believed to be incarnation of God, nor shall I worship them. I shall have no faith in Gauri, Ganpati, and other gods and goddesses of Hindu, nor shall I worship them. I do not believe in the incarnation of God. I do not and shall not believe that Lord Buddha was the incarnation of Vishnu. I believe this to be sheer madness and false propaganda. I shall not perform Shraddha, nor shall I give Pindadan. I shall not act in a manner violating the principles and teachings of the Buddha. I shall not allow any ceremonies to be performed by Brahmins. I shall believe in the equality of man. I shall endeavor to establish equality. I shall follow the noble eightfold path of the Buddha. I shall follow the paramitas prescribed by the Buddha. I shall have compassion and loving kindness for all living beings and protect them. I shall not steal. I shall not tell lies. I shall not commit carnal sins. I shall not take intoxicants like liquor, drugs, etc. I shall endeavor to follow the noble eightfold path and practice compassion and loving kindness in everyday life. I renounce Hinduism, which is harmful for humanity and impedes the advancement and development of humanity, because it based on inequality, and adopt Buddhism as my religion. I firmly believe the Dhamma and the Buddha is the only true religion. I believe that I am having a rebirth. I solely declare and affirm that I shall hereafter lead my life according to principles and teachings of the Buddha and his Dhamma. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Avinash.
Thank you, guys. So moving forward with next line item. Just a minute, I guess my video has stuck here somewhere. Okay, Trapti, like I would like to request you, I would like Anisa Khanderao is leaving at like 7 o'clock, and he is requesting me to take her daughter's performance first. So are we good on that?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Okay, Anisa Khanderao, are you available? Are you going to share your video or should I share?
Anisha, you can unmute yourself. They can unmute themselves.
Hi, Avinash. Can you please share?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
We need a quick introduction of the performer, if she can speak.
Explain yourself. Tell your name, what you're
Yeah,
doing.
Anisa. Anisa, go ahead.
My name is Anisa.
Wow, awesome name.
You're performing on what song?
I'm performing on Malabairati.
Awesome, awesome. Actually, you know, like one thing is there, like how to share my screen. Oh yeah, there is option.
There's a green button at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Anand, if you want to share, I can make you the co-host.
No, I don't have it on my laptop actually.
Okay. Yeah, Avinash, you can go ahead then.
So are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay,
We can see.
perfect. Perfect.
No voice coming. So you can do the computer audio.
Voice is not coming?
Audio is
No.
not there.
Audio is not there. So you can do the computer audio. There is a computer audio you can do.
Where
In the
is it?
Yeah, I selected that option already.
Oh,
Let me retry.
I mean, do you have the YouTube on this one or just the recorded one?
What do you mean by YouTube?
Did you put it in the
It's a place
YouTube?
where you can share
No.
your computer sound.
No,
You go to more.
no.
Yeah, computer sound you can share, then it will, audio will come there. Otherwise,
So at the bottom of your screen, you will see before this video, you will see more, and then you go there, and then you will find the share computer sound. It'll share with the audio.
Oh, okay. Got it.
thank you, Bante.
Sure.
Are you able to hear now?
Yeah, but can you start from the beginning?
Yeah.
Venus, can you start from the beginning? Yeah.
Wow, Anissa, that's cool.
संविधानाचं पुस्तक हातात भीमराव बसलाय रथात. 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 रथाच्या भोवती जमलाय तांडा. रथाच्या भोवती जमलाय संविधानाचं पुस्तक हातात भीमराव बसलाय रथात. संविधानाचं पुस्तक हातात भीमराव बसलाय रथात. संविधानाचं पुस्तक हातात भीमराव बसलाय रथात. संविधानाचं पुस्तक हातात भीमराव बसलाय रथात.
Wow, Anisa, that was great performance. Awesome.
Good job. Good job. Great, great. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank
Good
you.
job,
all.
Awesome, awesome, Anisa.
Thank you.
Awesome,
It's just
awesome.
that- Yeah, it's just that we had actually invitation from other program. That's why I request Avinash to just prepone it. But thank you anyways.
You are
That was
welcome.
very
Yeah,
good, Anisa.
Thank you.
it was good. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. So moving towards next performer here, I have Tripti Vasnik is going to sing a song for us, guys. So Tripti, are you ready?
Kind of, yeah. I want to say
Awesome.
congratulations, Pari. That was a very good performance from you.
Thank you.
Namo Buddhaya. Yeah, Namo Buddhaya and Jai Bhim to everybody. Want to wish everybody happy Diksha Day. On this occasion, I want to express my gratitude to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar by my song. I'm not a professional singer, but I'm trying. So if something goes wrong, please forgive me.
Go ahead. We are with you.
Shri Buddhacha Charanavarati Vijayadashami Dini Diksha Ama Dili Bhimane Mangala Din To Jani Shri Buddhacha Charanavarati Vijayadashami Dini Diksha Ama Dili Bhimane Mangala Din To Jani मूड गाडण्या विषमतेचे मार्ग असावे चला मानवतेचा अनसमतेचा धर्म नवा घेतला श्री बुद्धाच्या महामंत्राचा निनादला तो ध्वनी दीक्षा दिली भीमाने मंगल दिन तो जनी थोर भाग्य हे दलित जनांचे भीमरत्न लाभले व्यथा त्यांची दूर जाहली कार्य महासाध्यले सोने लुटुनी मांगल्याचे लोक हर्षले मनी दीक्षा दिली भीमाने मंगल दिन तो जनी कितीक झाले यावनीवर संत मुनी ज्ञानी करू न शकले आजवरी ते केले भीमाने ध्वनी उतरली 9 कोटी जनता रूढी मोडणी जुनी सारी दीक्षा दिली भीमाने मंगल दिन तो जनी श्री बुद्धाच्या चरणावरती विजयादशमी दिनी दीक्षा दिली भीमाने मंगल दिन तो जनी Thank you.
Thank you, Tripti. It was a great performance, great voice.
Very nice.
ऑलरेडी कि आगे बढ़ने से पहले कि तोड़ना है हर पिंजरा, मेरी उड़ान अभी बाकी है। कि तोड़ना है हर पिंजरा, मेरी उड़ान अभी बाकी है। मंजिल जमी भर नहीं, आसमां अभी बाकी है। लहरों का थमना नहीं, समंदर की बेबसी। बाहर खामोशी सही, भीतर कई तूफान बाकी है। So guys, let's move towards next performance over here. And I would like to request Satak Da here to have to present his monologue. Are you ready, Satak Da?
You picked this one?
Yes, Avinash. I will be doing a monologue.
Okay, go ahead, Satak Da.
So it is a presentation.
Sure.
Will you please so can you see my screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. So
make it a full screen. It's not a full screen.
Jai Bhim all. So happy Dhamma Chakra Pravartan Din to all of you. And good to see all of you here again. We haven't done our monthly meet in a long time, but good to see everybody is doing well. Okay. I believe you are able to hear me very well, and presentation is okay. Can you confirm that?
Yeah, we can see. Just like make it a presentation mode, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, that's
okay. So last year, in the last year's speech, we talked about why Baba Sahib chose the 14th October date. Today, I will talk about Baba Sahib's book, Buddha and his Dhamma. So before I talk, I would like to get our mindset correct, what I want to talk. So this is a picture of Shane Warne. It's an Australian leg spin bowler.
Yeah.
This is a quote I have on the screen. He said, you have to decide for yourself whether you are bowling well or not. The batsman going to hit you for fours and sixes anyway. So what does it mean? What he was trying to say, this is his quote from either end of the match, commentary or interview. What he was trying to say, when you walk at the end of the day from that field, you need to judge what you did that day. The scoreboard, the match result, either you win the match or you lose the match. That will not decide. You will decide what you did and how you did that day. So you need to be your own standard, that what are you doing, how you doing. So that is the mindset, that is the framework I wanna, with that mindset, I wanna look at the Dhamma Chakra Pravartan Sutta. Moving on, Dhamma Chakra Pravartan Sutta is the only sutta in the Pali books. And earlier, Dhamma Ratna Bhante also talked about full length of the Dhamma Sutta. I will be talking, I will say 1/3 of it. So the picture on the left-hand side, the picture is my imagination of Baba Sahib writing this Buddha and his Dhamma. It's the two great personalities meeting together. Bhadanta Ananda Kausalyan, he is a monk from Punjab. He later part of his life was in Maharashtra and Nagpur and Wardha area. He said the greatest work Baba Sahib did was conversion ceremony. But the equally greatest work he did was writing Buddha and his Dhamma. However, many of us haven't read it. I haven't read it. Even myself, I am only 40% in it. It is a pretty dry books. It is very dry. It is difficult to finish. But and I have been working on it since 2019. Okay, so one day I will definitely finish it. So moving on. So let me begin. So Siddhartha Gautama, as we all know, attained enlightenment in Gaya. After he attained the enlightenment, he was in Vishad Yoga. What is that Vishad Yoga means is, it's a state of a mind where you have two different thoughts at the same time with a rational reasoning. So he was in Vishad Yoga for about a week. He was thinking, shall he teach his Dhamma to others or shall he perfect his skill? After staying in that Vishad Yoga for a week, he decided that he will teach his Dhamma to others. After he made that decision, the first question he had was, whom shall he teach his Dhamma? The obvious answer for him was, he will be teaching his Dhamma to his first teacher, Alar Kalam. Now, probably most of you know Alar Kalam. He was Buddha's teacher. He taught Anapana to Buddha. The question here is, why Buddha thought of teaching to Alar Kalam? Why not King Bimbisara? As we all know, when Buddha was in Pravajja, King Bimbisara met Buddha in Rajgir, and King Bimbisara offered half of his kingdom. Buddha declined that and wished to continue with his Pravajja. So why Buddha thought of teaching Dhamma to Alar Kalam? Why not King Bimbisara? So in Buddha and his Dhamma, there is a reasoning Baba Sahib provided. I believe Baba Sahib learned all these things from the Pali books. Buddha's reasoning was, Buddha thought Alar Kalam is wise, learned, intelligent, and of less impurity. The key word was less impurity. Buddha was not sure about King Bimbisara, and that's why Buddha decided to teach Dhamma to Alar Kalam. Now, after deciding, Buddha tried to find out where is Alar Kalam. He was told that Alar Kalam was dead. Second, then Buddha thought about teaching Dhamma to his another teacher, Uddhaka Ramputta. Uddhaka Ramputta was a teacher from a Jain tradition. He taught meditation to Buddha. When Buddha inquired about Uddhaka Ramputta, he was told that even Uddhaka Ramputta was dead too. So then Buddha thought to teaching Dhamma to his 5 companions from his Pravajja day. He inquired whereabouts of the 5 ascetics. He was told they are in a deer park. It's called Migadaya when Bhante was chanting. Deer park of Isipattana in Sarnath. So Buddha traveled from Gaya to Sarnath, a distance of more than 200 miles. It is very difficult to imagine that he might have never met any single person in that 200-mile distance. Why Buddha thought of teaching only to those 5 ascetics? So I believe Buddha wanted to stick to his a little impurity concept. of teaching Dhamma to those who has a little impurity. Once Buddha was approaching to a deer park. The 5 ascetics saw Buddha coming toward them. One of the ascetics said to other companions, "Look, Siddhartha is coming." He left Pravajja and chose the path of pleasure. Let's not welcome him. When Buddha come close to those 5 ascetics, they were so impressed by the personality of Buddha, they all got up. One of them offered seat to Buddha. Other offered water to wash the feet. Another one took the bowl. Fourth one took the robe. They all got busy. Baba Sahib wrote one of the funniest quote I found in the book. It was the greatest welcome of unwelcome guest. That was a pretty funny line for me. Once they all settled down, one of the ascetic asked Buddha, "So, do you still believe in asceticism?" Buddha, the great teacher he was, didn't answer directly. Instead, he replied, "There are 2 extremes of life. One extreme says, enjoy your life. Another says, the path of self-mortification. One says, eat, drink, sleep, enjoy the life as there is, tomorrow you will die. Other says, kill all vasanas, kill all desires, self-mortify. Buddha says, I do not prescribe to those paths. I choose the middle path, the Majjhima Pratipada." Not understanding what to say, one of the ascetics says, they talked, and this is again Baba Sahib's thinking. He said they might have asked a casual question like a friendly way. So how have you been since we left you? Then Buddha said the whole story, how he left for Gaya, how he sat under the banyan tree, the Bodhi tree, how he meditated, and by that meditation, how he find out Dhamma and the new path. So the ascetics, the elder ascetic Kondanas was very impressed, very curious. He asked, "So you are talking so highly of Dhamma. So please tell us more about this Dhamma." Then Buddha started talking about Dhamma. He said, in this Dhamma, there is no place for God, no soul. There is no place for life after the death, and no rituals and ceremonies. The center of the Buddha's Dhamma is man, and man-to-man relation in his life on this earth. The world, Buddha said, the world is full of suffering. The world is full of sorrow, poverty, misery. The world is full of suffering. Identifying the suffering and finding the way to end the suffering is the fundamental principle, is the 4 noble path of this Dhamma. Are you guys with me so far?
Yes.
Yes, Chatak, yes.
Yes, Chatak, yes.
Yes, Chatak.
It's kind of difficult. Okay, so this was Buddha's first sermon's content. Now here is a Baba Sahib comment. I just took the screenshot from the Columbia website. Baba Sahib's thought here is, Baba Sahib said, this can be the only foundation and justification for Dhamma is through recognition of existence of suffering and how to remove the suffering. This can be the only foundation and basis of the Dhamma. This can be the only foundation for any religion. If the religion fails to do this, is no religion at all. This is the I believe this is a complete Baba Sahib's thought here from the Dhamma Chakra Pravartan Sutta. Okay. Now, one of the Pravarjikas asks, so how do you remove the suffering? What is the way to remove suffering? Buddha said, if you follow the path of purity, path of righteousness, and path of virtue, if you follow this path, you will definitely able to remove the suffering. Now, in this talk, I will be only talking about the path of purity. That's the 1/3 path. The path of purity teaches that a person who wishes to be good must recognize some principle as a principle of life. Again, I believe this is a complete Baba Sahib's thought here. This is a complete Baba Sahib's analysis, which is probably only in Buddha and his Dhamma book. I don't think this is in Dhamma Chakra Pravartan Sutta. Again, this is my thought. So, path of purity teaches that a person who wishes to be good must recognize some principle as principles of life. And this principle, according to Buddha's Dhamma, is not to injure or kill, not to steal, not to speak untruth, not to indulge in lust, not to indulge in intoxicating drinks. Now, Baba Sahib's thought on path of purity here is that this recognition of this principle is most essential for every man. Every man must have a standard by which to judge whatever he does. And this principle, according to Buddha's teaching, constitute the standard. So here is the framework I was referring, which standard we use to measure our action. As per Baba Sahib's, we can use 5 precepts as a standard to judge our action. Now, again, from the book, Baba Sahib's original analysis here. This is like about part 4 in Buddha and his Dhamma. In the particular first Buddha's sermon, Baba Sahib says, there are everywhere people who are patit. And patit is a Hindi or a Sanskrit word. He is using English word fallen. And as we know, there is a popular bhajan as well, Patita Pavan Sitaram. So what that bhajan says is, if you are patit, then the God will bless you. However, Baba Sahib do not want people to stay patit. Baba Sahib said there are 2 classes of patit. The patit who has a standard and the patit who has no standard. And the patit who has no standard does not know that he has fallen. That's why he always remains fallen. And the patit who has standard tries to rise from his fallen state. Why? The answer is because he knows he is fallen and he always tries to rise. There is a difference, and I am just copying here from the book because I wanted to get the original Baba Sahib's wording there. Baba Sahib says there is a difference between having a standard and having no standard for regulating man's life. In this case, what matters is not so much of the fall of the man, but the absence of the standard. Baba Sahib think that you should always have a standard in your life to control and govern your actions, each and every day's action, then you may think that why are this principle worthy of recognition as a standard of life? The answer to this question you will find is, if you ask, are these principles good for the individual? Do they promote social good? And if the answer is positive, then it follows the principle of path of purity as a standard of life. Baba Sahib considered the above 5 standards as very important, and that's why he included in the 22 vows from number 13 to number 17. One of the web blog, I found this book, Measure What Matters. And if I apply this book to the 5 standard, you can add more standard, but I tried to 5 standard, that is around December 2019. I tried to, at the end of the day, give a couple of minutes and think how was my behavior, how was my actions as per the 5 standards. And I noticed we fail almost every day in 1 or 2 of the standards. Particularly, you are very relaxed when you are with family, particularly with kids. Not to speak truth, we don't keep our promises. So this is one of the good idea to keep on track with following the 5 precepts. It did help in the short run as well as long run. Here I am using another book. This is a book, The Snowball and the Business of Life, on the life of Warren Buffett. He says, the big question about how people behave is whether they have got an inner scorecard or outer scorecard. It helps if you can be satisfied with an inner scorecard. What does that mean? If you have the outer scorecard, that means you are much more concerned how the world sees you and think of you, rather than looking at your inner way, your inner scorecard, self-criticizing and judging yourself with the standard you have set. Having inner scorecard forces you to ask yourself, what standard and am I going to judge myself? What am I going to hold up as important? Another Buffett's quote here is, if the world couldn't see your result, would you rather be thought of as a greatest investor, but in reality have a world worst record? If you take that sentence and change anything here, rather use like a great dad, great son. Do you want to project to the world that you are a great dad, but in reality you will be a worst one? Or rather you will project a worst one, but you, for your inner self, you act and behave as a good dad. How you hold yourself for the external world or for your inner world? You don't have to answer any of these questions, but I urge you guys to meditate on this. With that, I would like to end my talk here. Thank you.
Thank you, Chatak. So just like I have one question, Chatak, if you are okay with that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So slide number 20, that is like you are tracking Panchashilas, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you go back to that, like means like what are the probability here? So we are in professional life, day-to-day life, and our life is not trouble-free. So it is sometime it's very difficult to achieve those things, because like we are not like in certainly belonging to that kind of life. like monks' life is different and our life is different. So dealing with day-to-day life, how we can avoid means like this, like how we can increase this scorecard more. Do you have any like suggestion or proposal on that?
See, again, this is your scorecard, right? You are judging yourself day to day.
Yeah.
Once you noticed, let's say today you notice that I am X on this particular activity, you just think, okay, how to improve this? I just remember the example one of the monk mentioned when Buddha has one, and I won't be able to give the exact word, but Buddha was walking one day and some thief or some thug passed his way. Okay, Buddha let that person go, but there was a person running behind that person.
Okay.
Buddha changed his position. Okay, the another person asked Buddha, from that position where you are standing, did you see anybody running? Since Buddha was changed the position after he saw that person running, Buddha said no. So this was, I believe this is a kind of tricky example here. How do you understand it? But it's up to you. How do you improve? Like, choosing not to lie, it's one of the difficult one, or keeping promise is one of the difficult one. But let's not make the promise if you are not sure about. How about that?
Yes, like you mean just like we have to track daily wise, and daily we can improve a little bit on that.
Yeah, and that's why I put the black matrix, the black dot there, that not all of those are blue.
Yeah.
Like not to speak definitely is a lot of red, but and that's again with mostly with Tashi Samyak with the family.
Yeah.
And I'm sure after a month or two, it got a lot better.
Okay, so this is like a tracking meter, right? So
yeah,
we have to,
there was a one example I remember too. Monish Prabha, he was an investor from California side, and he gave a similar example from his family that he started doing, not to speak untruth. And one day his wife asked, "How's my dress look?" That was a question, and he did honestly answer. And after honestly answering that question, he had to miss the movie.
Yeah.
It's up to you. How do you decide to answer?
Already, thank you, Tartak. It was good. Just like new topic. Like it was a little bit tricky, but like we could understand a little bit more, and like we got other area to focus also with that. So which is like we in day-to-day life we were not able to do that. We will not able to track that, but it's a good thing. It was really good presentation and monologue. Alrighty, guys. So let's move forward with next performer here. We have Harshvardhan Shisle. Come on, buddy. Are you ready for your speech?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Awesome. Please go ahead.
Okay. Jai Bhim and Jai Bhim Namo Buddhaya. Respected monks and all the guests that are present today for this program, and my best wishes to all of you from myself and my family on Dhamma Chakra, Pravartan Day, and Jai Bhim. I want to share the information on the precious work done by Bharat Ratna, the architect of the Indian Constitution, Bodhisattva Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Our ancestors were the original residents of India and were called the Asprusha or untouchables. In India, there are 6,000 castes, and one caste is different from another, as there is greater inequality among them. These 6,000 castes of Brahmanism incarnate, as said by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, were in Hindu religion and they still exist as of today. Asprasha means untouchables. One of them is the Mahar caste, and it exists in every village and town. To serve the whole village was their prime job. Mahar social caste was the poorest and was prohibited to read and get an education. They were forced to do dirty work and and beg for food. They were prohibited to own their own land, and their huts were segregated on the outskirts of the villages, away from the main village, and they were prohibited to fetch or drink water from the village wells. The prohibitions were enforced with inhuman violence against them from time to time to keep them in their place by Brahmanism and their inhuman, discriminatory, and demonic laws by Manu A. Brahmin. Babasaheb was born in the Mahar caste on 14th April 1891. In the 19th century, he was a super intellectual genius to earn the maximum number of educational degrees. When he joined school, he wasn't allowed inside his classroom, but he had to sit outside the classroom at the door. Dr. Babasaheb, on the 14th of October of 1956, Ashoka Vijay Dashmi Day at Nagpur, gave a Dishka of Buddha Dhamma, a popular in the world but born in India, to the socially depressed and religious slave population of 140 million. What is the meaning of Dhamma Chakra pravartan? Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, by accepting and giving Diksha to exploited, mentally enslaved and downtrodden people, empowered them with confidence and consciousness, because becoming Buddhist is to adopt a scientific approach, saying no to the existence of God and discarding rituals, superstition, and ill traditions that were and still are there in Hindu religion. The atrocities due to casteism, ethnicity, and injustice keep on happening even today, every single day, on downtrodden people in India. For example, the recent atrocity in Hathras village in the UP state. The Dhamma that Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar gave to the society created a new consciousness in the society. 60 years ago, this Buddhist community was in a state of disrepair, and today organization has revolutionized them. Babasaheb said, educate, agitate, and organize. The new Buddhist society among all religions and castes in India, doing valuable work in all spheres of life. Also, the Buddha Dhamma revolution has made a big impact on the Indian social system. The Dhamma Chakra was performed by the Tathagata Buddha in India 2,500 years ago. Because of that time also, in India, there was a lot of human inequality. With Brahmanism at its peak, the society was reaching a new low. At that time, Tathagata Buddha established the Buddhist Dhamma and brought equality to the poor, degenerate, and helpless people. Near about 800 years later, Buddha Dhamma was at its peak and had spread all over India and other countries as well. During Emperor Asoka's rule, Buddhist religion was the national religion of the Asian continent. Over time, the Brahmins persecuted Buddhist monks and killed most of them by putting a bounty of 100 gold coins over the monks' head, destroyed or converted their temples, and prohibited people from following Buddhism. Those who opposed were defeated and marked as untouchables. Buddhist religion was destroyed by Brahmins venomously in India, but it had spread in many countries around the world. Dr. Babasaheb rejuvenated the world-famous Buddhist religion, and millions of people were once again introduced to human values by the Buddhist religion. The inner and outer development of human beings, the overall progress of society, equality, and brotherhood. These human values are only in Buddhism, and these strong foundations, which disappeared from India, were re-established in India with the Dhamma Chakra pravartan. Because of the Buddhist religion was already there. Dr. Babasaheb brought people into the light from the darkness and shadows and created a new consciousness in them. That's why it is the Dhamma Chakra pravartan in the true sense. Dhamma is the way of leading a life. To live with dignity and grace is Dhamma. Chakra means a change in outlook in the thought process. Our thinking should be adaptable to change and evolving. Life should be like a water stream, flowing and not stagnant. By this definition, chakra means a change, because everything in the world is uncertain and changing. What is there today will not always be there tomorrow. Science has proved this. Pravartan means a change. If there's a change in a person, it brings a social change. And there should be a positive in the change, and let it bring no negativity to everyone. Let it do good for everyone, and this emotion should not be there in the change that we have. We say the world needs Buddha, not war. Buddha gave non-violence the essential value for human progress to the world, and the world has accepted and is leading in the direction of peace. There are many examples of religious conversions in world history. There's carnage in the name of religion, and there are examples of religious conversion with the tip of the sword, conversion on political pressure, conversion on money, but Babasaheb Ambedkar did this without a single drop of blood or money or political pressure. By accepting Buddhist religion, which teaches equality, freedom, and fraternity, and accepting it with millions of people was a source of revolution. Millions of people leaving the shackles of Hindu religion and accepting the Buddhist religion was a unique example in the world. To renounce Hinduism religion, Dr. Babasaheb had a broader outlook. Millions of people were in distress and despair by the slavery imposed by the Hindus. Mere preaching was not enough because religion gives inspiration to life. Religion creates faith in us and gives us hope to survive. If they needed to change, then they must go to one which focuses on scientific learning, discards caste and discrimination, and takes one towards humanity, which is Buddhist religion, and which is the only option, thought Dr. Babasaheb. In this way, Dhamma Chakra pravartan has a greater meaning. I tried to explain it short and abstractly, and I assume we all must have understood what I wanted to say. Thank you for this opportunity and hearing me out with patience. JBM, Namo Buddhaya, and best wishes.
Okay, Harshvardhan, it was great. It was great speech, nice observation, and nice information, Harshvardhan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So let's move forward with next performer, guys. Here I have Arhant Sisley. He's going to play piano. Are you ready, Arhant?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to
Awesome.
introduce yourself. Arhant need to introduce.
Hi, my name is Arhant. Today I'm going to play piano.
Wow. Nice, you played well, buddy. Arhant.
Nice one.
You can say that.
Now Sanjay is going to play.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Very
it is
good.
good. Yeah, it is nice.
Nice.
Thank you. You down to the reactions. Reactions and press the clap. Yep.
Alrighty, guys, let's move towards next performer here. Like we have two buddies here, Arsh and Sana. They are going to play Kahoot game. So I'm not familiar with that game, buddy. So would you please introduce that game and like what is that exactly?
Okay.
Yes, Sana, Harsh, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Can you make it able for me to share my screen because it's not letting me?
You can. Yeah, you can share your screen.
Yeah, I make a co-host so they can share now. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, so can everybody go onto the website kahoot.it to play the game?
Kahoot.in. Okay.
Yeah, everybody go to their laptop or computer.
And then you guys are gonna type the pin.
type from the screen. Yes, one second. Let everybody know. What do you want to do?
So activity is this, right? 7707.
We only see 4 participants, 3 from home. Can everybody join?
Yeah.
Harsh, Arhan, Samyak. I think we all can play.
And we can see your name here, so you guys can.
Avinash Dada, you can also play.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, go on a browser and type Kahoot.it and then enter the PIN number. So we see how many participants? 7.
Yeah, so right now I'm on that website, but it took me another website.
Type in kahoot.it and then it'll bring you to where you
I will
can
type that thing here. KSWT.it. Kahoot.it.
Yeah, Kahoot.it. Okay. Yeah, that is different. Yes. I typed Kahoot.com.
Okay, couple more people are waiting. Which Ashutosh there. Revan is not there. Revan, you can join.
It's a baby.
Sandeep, you are not there. Sandeep Aroi is there. Satkal sir, you also can join. Let's have some fun with the game.
Yeah, I'm entering my PIN number. PIN number is same, right, on that?
Yeah.
97707. 3.
Who else is there? You are not joined.
Hey, Avinash, can you stop Facebook now? I mean, we agreed that we will stop after 1